effects could explain the peculiar clustering of orbits from for a group of extreme trans-Neptunian objects, bodies beyond Neptune's that orbit the sun at distance averaging that of Earth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
But
But it's
now it
not a
says
theory. They've proven it. I don't know how old that document you're reading, but they've proven that it is there.
now actually that's what it says though. It says a hypothetical.
Right.
Now, okay, so let me see something. Let me go back a little bit. It's just when I'm gonna jump back real quick. You know what though, but
Come on,
that's
we got
that.
to get started though.
Yeah, no, that's good. What's up, Pat? You're right, man. That might be the next topic, man. Planet Nine, we coming with the Neptunians. Mike has identified the Neptunians.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Real Brothers for the Real World. I'm TL, and that's my man Stace.
What's up, y'all?
And we want to welcome all of y'all to our digital neighborhood. Uh, we got some good topics and good conversation and information on deck tonight. Go ahead, Black, and tell us what we're working with.
What's up, everybody? Once again, welcome to the Real Brothers of the Real World. This is our weekly podcast. 1 year and still rolling, y'all. Anniversary celebrated in January. And they always talk about how we can't be consistent. We're proving them wrong, Nike. We've been on here every Sunday since January. We never missed a week. We went through hospital stints. We went through rainstorms and remote broadcasts. And we've been here every week. All right, so we'd like to welcome you to the digital neighborhood. And while I read this information or read up on what the topics are, TL is going to put the link out there. We invite you to click on the link and join us as we discuss
the
these
link is
topics.
out there.
Okay, the link is there. Pat, we need you to join in tonight, man. We're going to have some good topics. Here we go, y'all. We got topic number 1, sex as a weapon. Topic number 2, the Kevin Samuels death. Kevin Samuels, the popular podcaster, he passed and was got a lot of buzz. Number 3, what are we searching for? And TL will go into more detail as far as what he means by that. And was COVID a distraction? Was COVID a distraction? So again, those are the 4 topics. We invite you to click on the link and join us as we discuss these topics. But before we go any further, Nike, do we have any randoms? You got a random today?
Yeah, I was gonna save it, but yeah, since we already on.
Wait, which one? We talk about a couple of things.
No. What if everything you thought you knew from what you were taught was a lie and can be proven that it was a lie?
Wow. Well, I mean, you just have to accept it. You just have to accept it.
Some people won't accept it. Even if you lay out like facts, if you lay out like documented, evidential, documented facts, they like, no, it can't be. No.
See
or,
now, but now.
I got faith in something else. Or
Nike, that does happen.
Something else.
That happens. I had a conversation with somebody who shall remain nameless. We were talking about something insignificant. So I Googled it and I read with the medical association. I read their response. And they were like, yeah, well, I'm gonna just continue to think. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
it does happen.
I mean, but to be honest, the reason that we're like that is because there is a lot of false information out there.
Absolutely.
A lot of false and conflicting information. And it's not our fault. It's not the people's fault. It is the system's fault. Because the system is formulated in a way that it wants to maintain control over the public at large. You get what I'm saying?
But I blame it more on the people that just aren't open to change. A lot of people don't want to question their previous mindsets. People just aren't open for that. So when they hear something that makes them that would force them to think otherwise, a lot of people are just stubborn. Like, no, I'm gonna continue to believe what I believe. I blame it more on that than anything else.
Yeah, but that's a part of it, because we have been indoctrinated into all of these different religions and beliefs and cultures and 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 the majority of it, when you take away the layers,
Mm-hmm.
it's all fake. It's all
Mm-hmm.
fake. Like, all right,
Yes.
and I okay. So let me say this before I get into anything else. So I'm not a I'm not a religious person,
Right.
right? But I don't begrudge anyone else's religion.
Right.
Whatever you believe, that's
That's
on
good.
you,
Right. Yep.
and that's
And you're the
fine.
maker. That's right.
What whatever your belief is, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I happen to know from from reading history, and I'm not talking about slavery history. I'm talking about history, like
Mm-hmm.
back for the Emerald Tablets,
Mm-hmm.
or the Epic of Gilgamesh,
Mm-hmm.
or the Mahabharata
Mm-hmm.
in India, like the Enuma Elish,
Mm-hmm.
like all of these old, like thousands and thousands of year old documents. They are, I, they are written in stone. They are
Mm-hmm.
written on tablets for to be preserved, so they could be preserved,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
ancient times.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even verify things on those tablets from the Bible. You can
Mm-hmm.
verify things from them tablets from the Quran.
Right. Yeah.
Because think
Well.
about this. I'm at like, all right, just I'm just using these Christians as an example,
Mm-hmm.
but there's the same examples in Buddhism,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Islam,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and all of them. So
Mm-hmm.
so check this out. Jesus, right,
Mm-hmm.
was a real person,
Correct.
right? He had, he had 12 disciples,
Mm-hmm.
which were fishermen, right?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't read, they couldn't write. So none of those books in the Bible were written by those people.
See now, but now listen to this though. But the other side of that, Nike, and you're right in one instance that when you talk about indoctrination, you're talking about people that have been taught something and have a certain belief. Now those folk go on one, and it's one word, and it's by faith. They say,
Right.
I believe these books, but then they'll say to you the same way that you believe the ones that you have. So both people are kind of in the same in the
And,
same in the same
and
boat, because you have faith in the whatever research that you did, that you
mhm,
came up, the items that you just expounded. You have faith that those things are true. So a
right.
person that believes in religion, they're going to say the same thing. I believe that
There's
what
two
I read
things
is
I
true.
can I there's two things I can counter that argument with,
Mhm.
right? The first one is the people that made the Bible, the
Mhm.
Council of Nicaea,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you know how that you know how after they put the books, like the Book of Enoch is not in there, the Book of
Mhm.
Mary
Mhm.
is not in there.
Right.
There's all
A bunch
these
of
books.
for different
There's a
reasons. Right.
bunch of books,
Right.
the
That never made it.
Apocrypha, all of the
Right.
right, all of these books that they didn't put in there, and there's a
Mhm.
reason that they didn't put it
Mhm.
in there,
Yeah.
because it speaks to the
Other things that
truth.
they didn't want. Right. Other things that weren't,
No,
that they
it
didn't
speaks
want
to the
people
truth.
to, right, yeah, that they didn't want
And
people to
then, okay, so that's
experience
the
or what have you.
Council of Nicaea, right?
Mhm.
So then we go to the Pope, right?
Mhm.
How did they spread religion?
Okay, I'm listening.
You ever heard of the Spanish Inquisition?
Of course.
You,
Mhm.
they killed
Mhm.
million like they killed millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of
Right.
people to
Absolutely.
get
Right.
to convert. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like people just discovered, oh, there's
Right.
God,
Of course.
there's
Right.
Jesus. No, it wasn't. That's
But
not how people were indoctrinated. People were indoctrinated with
by
religion
force. Right.
by force, by brutality,
Mhm.
by murder,
Mhm.
by rape,
By their
all of
masters,
those
basically.
things.
Well, as they say, the winner of wars. That's the history that's written. So the people that do the conquest, they use religion to control. In
But
some
that doesn't
instances,
that
use
doesn't
religion to
that
control the mass. But still, but let me go back to this though, Nike. That still doesn't explain the way. Like I said, someone would say the same thing about everything that you're saying. You've read something else and came up with a conclusion, and you have faith that those documents or those articles are correct, right? Everything that you just said, you have faith. You have faith that that is correct because you weren't there, right? You
I
weren't
wasn't
there. So,
there.
right, I know. So, but let me finish this point. So again, you have to have faith in what you read and that that information is correct. Somebody that believes something else because they weren't there, they're gonna say the same thing. Well, I believe that
That's
Jesus was,
right.
was nailed to the cross, and they're gonna have, and there's some documented, some
No,
documented. Hold it, listen, let me finish. There's some documented evidences that that the man named Jesus might have been nailed on the cross. Now, nobody can say he rose on the seventh day
where?
or what have you. Now,
What proof do they? What proof is there of that?
now,
There is
now,
none.
but no, listen, but no, I watched the
Let me let
show.
me let
Let,
me
let,
let
let me
me
let
let,
me
wait
let
wait
me
wait
answer the
wait wait
question.
wait
No, no, no,
wait.
no, 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 no. You asked me a question. Let me answer it. I watched some show or something a while ago where they showed how they referenced uh historical items and referred it back to the Bible. Now, I can say that it's a jump to say that that man named Jesus was nailed on the cross and then he got up and now you got to claim his name as your Lord and Savior. But in some instances, there are historical facts that they can point to and say, this is the town that war happened in or whatever.
Let me ask you a question. Another
Yes.
question. Do you believe? All right. So, do you believe in faith or do you believe in science?
Actually, like, I believe in both. I believe in both.
Okay,
Because, and
that's
this is
fair.
why I say
That's
that.
fair. That's a fair
I,
answer.
because again, I believe in science. Well, I believe in science
And
first.
math,
Say, absolutely, but because you can numbers can be proven, and
right,
and and when we
right,
all
and
go,
that's my
but listen
right.
to this, and actually we talked about this one time before. When you go back to the very beginning, because I do believe in the Big Bang Theory, I think that everything started there. But
Mm-hmm.
the first rule of science is that you can never, no matter how hard you try, never get something from nothing. So
Right.
therefore, if it was
It
a
has to
Big
be a
Bang Theory,
creator.
it had to be something that created it.
There
Right.
has to be a creator. So we
Correct.
proved that, right?
Correct.
We
Correct.
proved that,
Correct.
and I believe that wholeheartedly. There's a
Right.
creator.
Right.
There's a consciousness that
Something.
something
Something.
that
Right.
created that we're all connected to that
Correct.
created
The beginning.
the
Right.
beginning,
The beginning.
right? The beginning was not where the Bible says it is. That's not the
Right.
beginning
Right. Right.
because there's actual evidence,
The beginning.
actual proven
Beginning was not.
scientific evidence that that when they said that the earth uh or said that in the beginning right there,
Right.
that's all bullshit,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
Because there were people here
Mm.
already before those people in the Bible.
Mm. Hmm. Now, see, and
Because
again,
and what proves that is the pyramids
okay.
and the
Okay.
tablets.
See, and again, like, that's why I go with, I'm not as confident about anything that happened after that initial Big Bang period. Full stop.
You
All I
not
know, I'm
you're
not
not
confident
confident.
in
How you
anything
not
else.
confident?
No, no, yeah, because again,
You here, ain't you?
nothing, no, 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 no. Listen, no, I said I'm not confident with anything else that happened after that. The only thing that I'm confident that I know is that there has to be a creator, and I believe that everything came from that initial bang. Now, all the books and everything that happened after that are open for discussion. I'm not
And
confident on
then
any of
when you said that I can't prove it because I
them.
wasn't there.
Mm,
So think about this. I'm gonna give you an analogy.
mhm.
If you were going to, if you did, like, let's say you murdered somebody, right?
Right. And then we can hit these topics after this. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
Let's say you murdered somebody, right?
mhm, mhm,
And you have a jury, right? A
mm.
jury trial.
Right.
None of those people were there,
Correct.
but they can convict you if they have enough
Yes. Right.
physical
They weigh the
evidence,
facts. Right. They weigh the facts.
right? And some of that evidence, you might not have had a witness there, but a
Mhm.
lot of that evidence could be circumstantial evidence,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And so
Correct.
if you have a lot of circumstantial evidence, you can literally prove a case that you murdered somebody.
True,
If
absolutely.
I have enough evidence, right?
Absolutely.
That's my point. We have enough evidence to disprove a lot of the stuff that's in these holy books and a lot of the religions, because we can go back and have physical evidence of time periods, of people,
See, but let,
of
let me say this.
tablets.
Let me say this, and then, like I said, we're gonna get cracking. But that's where, like, I think from my perspective, that's where the faith comes in, because, like I said, you have to then, because we're using the example that you did, the analogy that you used about being convicted by a jury, you have to have confidence or faith in the evidence that is presented by that lawyer. So if that lawyer is up there lying and putting forth false evidence and etc., they can make things look a certain way to help create a certain narrative. So all I'm saying is that, again, after that initial bang, anything else and I'm not saying that I don't believe, it's just that I'm not confident personally
And that's
with
kind
any
of
of
my
those other
point.
things.
That faith overrides logic, and it shouldn't. Faith
No,
overrides actual logic.
that's a good.
And it
See,
shouldn't.
I don't know. You mean in too many instances, faith overrides logic?
In religion, period.
Well, I
Faith
mean,
overrides
well,
logic.
yeah. Okay, well, you know what,
And
Nike?
that's dumb. That's
Well,
actually dumb.
you know what though? Now,
That's
listen to
actually
this
dumb.
though. I think, to be perfectly honest, because I'm no historian, nor am I a religious guru. Therefore, maybe there is someone that can speak to their religion and point to points in history to prove different things. Then that person may be there, but we just don't know. And I don't know the information, so I can't speak on that. But
Right.
the very foundation of faith, of religion, in a nutshell, the foundation of it is based on faith. You have to have faith. They say you walk by faith.
That's a
So
taught behavior.
yeah, but dude, that's something to consider. All right, man, you ready,
Yeah, that
man?
was pretty good. Yeah.
That was a really good one, man. We all right. Where you want to go, Nike? We got Sex as a Weapon, Kevin Samuels. What are we searching for? And was COVID a distraction? Hey, Pat, man, we need you to get on, man. It's been a while since we seen you up here.
Let's do the sex
Pat,
as a weapon.
Sex
I
as a
know you
weapon.
want to get to that. Yeah.
All right. You said I want to get to that.
Yeah, I know you want to get to it.
Well,
I know you
actually, like,
want to get to it.
actually, that kind of came about as I saw people commenting on the whole Kevin Samuels thing. His position. A lot of people had strong feelings with his positions. He had a brass delivery. Some people disagree with it and some didn't.
Is this going to be Kevin?
No. I'm talking about where that came from. Sex as a weapon. Because so then it got me thinking that, as I mentioned to you, we always talk about it, and actually I think somebody was talking about it on social media, how, they hold back, and if a person's not doing the right thing, they'll, the lady will hold back and not give due sex, etc. And so that was the conversation. Like I said, it was a spinoff from the whole Kevin Samuels thing. So my question is, Nike, should men, are we capable of doing the same thing? Are men capable of using sex as a weapon? Are we even capable of it?
No, we're not capable of using no sex as a weapon.
Ain't
no girl, and you can't. Come on now, like.
So
you going to picture yourself telling the female. Picture yourself telling the female.
You pissed me off.
No, picture yourself telling the female, yeah, if you don't act right, you ain't getting none of this. Like, boy, bye.
But Nike,
bye.
But why not though? Why? I mean, but is it just our makeup?
Women are different from men, right? Men, when women operate on a different frequency, they operate from a point of connection, emotional connection.
Correct.
Right? So they appease us, by letting us hit whenever we want. If but
you can do
they
that.
not
Right.
into it all the time. They're
Right.
not into
Absolutely.
it. They are
Right.
happy to satisfy their man,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So it,
No,
it
but they enjoy it just as much as we do. So why? I mean, is that just how the way that we're built? We're not built
yeah.
to be able to say
No,
no. Is
we
that what
not
it is?
built. We not because listen to this, and I'm gonna drop a
Hey,
jewel,
Nike,
and
I'm gonna
and
start this.
you can
this
pick it
all
up
right,
real
listen,
quick.
Nike. All right, go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
and then
drop
I
this
got some
jewel,
for
and
you.
you can pick it up, right?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the man's genitalia is on the outside,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
The woman's genitalia is on the inside,
mm-hmm.
where her soul is, right?
Right, right. Mm-hmm,
So that's why she can bring a baby to term, right?
mm-hmm,
And have that baby already have all the information it needs to survive, right? When
mm-hmm,
that baby comes out, he knows how to breathe.
mm-hmm.
He knows how to cry when he wants something. He knows how to he knows his mother.
Right, absolutely.
He knows how to drink from the tit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody taught him how to drink from
Right.
the
That's
tit. He came
biology.
out
That's
like, I'm
biology.
hungry. Like,
That's
where's that?
biology. That's
Right.
biology. Okay.
But what
But
I'm
what does that
saying
have to
is
do with
that has a
us?
lot to do with it
Okay, go ahead.
because a woman's soul is connected to her vagina,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
A man's
Supposed to
soul.
be. Supposed to be. Not all of them, because some of them out there
Well, that's
spreading
debatable.
it.
That's debatable. But what I'm
Well,
saying
I
is,
understand what you're saying, but go ahead.
a man's genital is not connected
Mm-hmm.
to
Agree.
to
I agree with
to
that.
the body. That's why they
Right.
say.
Right.
That's why they say. You know, a man's dick. Oh, excuse me. A man's penis
Put the
has its
kids to
own
bed.
mind,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
It has
mm-hmm,
its own mind. That's partially true
mm-hmm.
because it's not connected.
Correct.
It is not connected to. It doesn't vibrate on the same frequency
Right.
that your
I
mind
understand.
vibrates on.
But all right, like, see, but again,
I guess
they
I'm off
enjoy,
topic.
no,
but
you know, we're good, we're good. They enjoy it as much as we do, right? You agree with that?
Right, but they enjoy it in a different
It's the
form.
connection. You saying it's the connection?
They right.
All right,
I
now
mean,
listen. All right,
it feels good to their whatever,
right.
but they're connecting with that person.
Mm-hmm,
They're
mm-hmm.
connect. They're
It's not as much
connecting.
of a physical act as it is. All right, listen, Ike. All right, this is what we're gonna do. Me and you, we're gonna start a thing. We're gonna start saying no. If they not acting right,
Start
Nike,
saying no.
tell them no. Tell the wife no. I told you didn't cook dinner. You supposed to cook dinner.
I don't think that's gonna make. I don't think that's gonna make a damn
Nigga
difference.
turn the
Like,
tables
you know what
on.
I'm
You see,
saying?
like you be like,
she
you
gonna
didn't
look
cook
at me
dinner.
like I'm tired anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
all right, you didn't cook dinner. You ain't getting us. She be like, all right, we not doing that for the next
You better
month.
go
Like,
get
all
us
right, never
some.
mind.
You better go get us something from the
Yeah.
restaurant around the corner, son.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
man.
don't work
You
like
know,
it don't work that way for men, man. Like,
it's
you
a
know what I'm
shame.
saying?
I mean, I agree
It's
with
two
you, man.
different. We're two different.
Right. We right. It's
Yeah,
like
two
you said.
different
It's not in our
mindsets. Two
makeup, man.
different. Yeah, we're built different.
You know, I don't know, but we so actually so in other words, we got the short end of the stick because that puts women, you know, in a place of, you know, they have more control. You know, because let's
Well,
face it,
that's why
that's what we strive after.
I actually think God is a woman.
I don't
To be
deny that.
honest, you know why?
I don't deny that.
Because men can't give birth.
Well,
God gave
again, I
birth
don't.
to the God gave birth to the universe. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
but now that's going a different direction because then the next
The
question
creator of life.
I was going to say that. See, but then you could say that the creator is not, you know, is asexual. You know, I don't know.
The creator, and this is just my.
No,
Hey,
we just talking, right? We just talking.
in my opinion, the creator is a female because we can't conceive. We can't create another human being. Only a
Well,
woman can do that.
but now
Only
but
a
listen to
woman
this
can
tonight.
do that.
Now listen to this. Now we were built to produce offspring, to seek
Right.
out. That's
Right.
how we are. That's how we're constituted.
Right.
So again, it puts the
But
the
what do you
female.
seek it out at? What do you seek it out with?
What do you mean? Your whole body, everything. You know,
No, you seek it out with a woman, right?
correct. No. But what I'm saying is that so therefore, I mean, it gives women an advantage in some instances because we're constantly, we're constantly chasing. But then the other
and
side of
because
that
they
is that,
have
but listen to
power.
this tonight. But listen to this. But they still can't create without a man either, though. So it's a all
That's not
those
true.
beautiful things.
That's
No,
not
no, no,
true.
no, no. How can a woman produce without male male influence? Male input, sperm. How they all those
Well,
things you just
they need the sperm. They need the
right,
sperm,
right,
but
and
they
that
don't need
comes
the
from a man.
man. They
No,
don't
no, no,
need the
no, no,
man.
no. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you're talking about going in the laboratory, but all those beautiful natural things that you mentioned, none of that happens without a man, though. So it's a co relationship, a co need, if you will. Um, so again, they can't do those things without us, though. So again, they were still giving the upper hand. Yeah. All right, we killed that one. Who's that? God created man,
Man is in
then
woman.
women. Well, I mean, see now that person is going biblically. So I guess
Yeah,
you
they going biblical.
you question that whole. I mean, but you know what though? But as we said earlier, though, that's that person's faith. They have faith that in
And
their
that, yeah, and
Christian Bible.
that's fine. There's no problem with that. But the thing is, right? Like you,
They have faith in their Christian belief
and I
that
get that. I get
you
that.
know, and well, unless you're gonna say that I have proof that didn't happen, but then it goes full circle because they're gonna say, well, I don't have proof that your proof was correct. So it's like a vicious circle. Who
It's
was that
not
anyway? No,
actually
I
if you
can't see it.
if you look up the right stuff,
The
if
right
you look
stuff.
up the right information,
The right stuff. That's subjective, though, Knight.
it's not subjective.
That's
It's not.
subjective. The right
Like
stuff.
I told you a couple shows ago, truth don't come in half sizes, right?
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
either all the way true
Was all the way
or it's
fake.
all the
Right.
way fake.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Oh,
That's
Brenda
what I'm
said
saying.
that. Brenda,
Huh?
you needed to come on. Brenda said that. Brenda said, God. Well,
Tell her to
now,
come on and talk about it.
so now, but when
Come on,
she says that, though, God created man, then women, is her point that men have the upper hand? Maybe that's what maybe she's agreeing with that then. That
what
truly
men have.
men have the upper hand. Maybe she's disagreeing with us because if we came first, then never. Good evening, Carrie. If he created men first, then normally what's important comes first. You think she would agree with that?
Say it again. If men created,
If God created men, then women, then normally what's most important comes first. So if that's the case, maybe Brenda is saying that, you know, what we think might be a little off, that maybe men truly have the upper hand in some way. I don't know. See, Brenda should have come on and further explain that. All right. So you ready, man? You ready to move on, or you got something else to include with that?
nah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I'm trying to look for the Facebook, what you call it, and I don't
Okay.
see it.
All right. While you're looking, I'm gonna run through these next ones. We have the Kevin Samuels death. Now, this one I wish that somebody would have come on to give their feedback on this. Kevin Samuels death. What are we searching for? And was COVID a distraction? All right, Carrie Ann, we need you to come on up here. Come on up here, Carrie Ann. All right, now, where you want to go, man? Kevin Samuels, what are we searching for? And was COVID a distraction? Where you want to
All
go?
right, since we were talking about Kevin Samuels already, let's go ahead and talk about his death now.
Okay. Well, okay. Well first, Kevin Samuel was a popular, very popular, I guess, YouTuber. He had he brought on very strong opinions about his opinions. She said, Carrie Ann said, let's talk about COVID. You want to switch directions, like if
Sure, the users is
Carrie comes
always
on.
right. Yeah, the users is always right. Let's talk
All right,
about
Carrie.
COVID.
All right, Carrie. We're gonna.
She say, I don't know him. All right, Carrie.
All right, Carrie.
Let
Well,
me take
we
that
asked this.
down then.
We asked this. We need you to come on here, and you don't have to bring your face on, and give us your opinion on what the topic is. Was COVID a distraction? All right, go ahead, Nike. What is your feedback on that? Was COVID a distraction?
All right. All right. So the reason that I brought that up is because I, you know, and I guess I got to put my tin hat shit on. That's what you gonna say. But all right. So in 2020, with in 2020 with one of those relief bills.
Mm-hmm.
Inside one of those relief bills was also a disclosure bill.
Mm-hmm.
And that hasn't been getting a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it hasn't been getting a lot of attention because people were preoccupied with trying to live through COVID,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
preoccupied with
Yeah,
wearing
surviving.
a mask,
Mm-hmm.
just surviving from day to day. The economy jacked up. So a lot of the stuff I'm thinking was kind of a manipulation of some sort to slowly release this information about aliens and where we got our technology from.
So,
And
so you think what? Correct me if I'm wrong.
mhm,
So you saying that you believe that COVID was a
yes,
distraction so that they can release information about aliens and everybody would be preoccupied with surviving through COVID and wouldn't pay attention to that?
I, I, well, I'm not saying that COVID was the actual cause of that, but they released that information at a time when no one would be giving a shit.
So okay, so COVID wasn't a distraction. It was just now Carrie Ann says she disagree. I
Disagree
think
with.
see now that's a good point.
Come on, Carrie. Come on,
Yeah, I don't know.
hit the link and come on
She
and
might
talk
be talking about
about it.
something we were talking about last week. Now I see if she don't come on,
Yeah,
I'm
we
thinking
don't know
she
what
might
she
be.
talking about. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
let me put another link in
put
here,
a link in there. Come on, Carrie Ann. You don't have to put your face on, but we want
yeah,
to hear your opinion. You disagree with what? We like disagreement because that's the way that we grow. That's the way that we learn. So what do you
right.
disagree with? Well, I mean,
That's the way
even though
we
like
promote conversation and learning.
absolutely, even though, and I think I agree with Carrie though. I don't think, and that's why I asked the question though, because I don't think that it was the she said send me the link. You just put it out there.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. If you can't see it in the chat, let us know, and then we'll see if we can get it to you. But yeah, it should be in the chat, Carrie Ann, on the Facebook chat, the group chat. I don't
So
think it was a distraction either, Nike. I mean, now, but
you
what
don't
you
think it
just
was a
said though,
no? I don't. I'm not
right?
saying
You
that.
just said they
I'm not
used it as an
saying that
opportunity,
they purposely, release COVID so they can
right?
release that. No, that's not that.
They
That's
just
stupid.
use
That's
that as
not
an
what I'm saying.
opportune
Right?
time. Okay,
They just because of that specific time, they're like, well, everybody's looking here. Let's go ahead and release these documents real quick, and hopefully it won't be as effective or it
all right,
won't be as talked about as when as another time. Why didn't
right,
they release this before 20? Hey, how you doing? Why didn't they release that before 2020? You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
So
Now,
the head of Security Council,
wait a minute, wait.
Marco Rubio. Okay,
Let's
go
let
ahead, go ahead.
Carrie Ann get in because I think that I might agree with Carrie Ann. All right, Carrie Ann, how you doing? First of all, good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you loud
ma'am.
and clear. How are you?
Okay. I'm okay.
All
I'm
right.
okay.
So first of all, thank you for joining us. Now, like I said, we love disagreement because this gives us an opportunity to learn, and I would love you to be agreeing with me so we could prove Terry wrong. When you said when you said you disagree, what do you mean, Terry? Is that your thing coming up
Nah, that ain't me.
on the stream? Real Brothers Live. All right,
Is
Carrie Ann,
that
what
you?
do you disagree with?
So first of all, let me say, being in the medical field,
Oh, uh-oh.
we're gonna talk about this COVID. We're
Okay,
gonna
go ahead.
talk
Yeah.
about people living longer. We're
Mm,
gonna talk about uh, seniors living
Right.
longer,
Right.
and we're gonna talk about population control.
mm,
Right.
mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
COVID has been around for years. It has been over in China. We know it as SARS.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this is nothing new.
Right.
Chemical warfare has been with us. I'm 52, going on 53.
Of war.
So
Right.
what was it back then? Agent Orange? That's what it
Correct.
was?
Right.
Okay. All right. So with all of that, just that little bit of information, I'm not beyond thinking that the same government that created this stuff, that eliminated people in the past,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't do it again. Okay.
Right.
You have to
Okay.
remember they experimented on our black men, our
Tuskegee.
ancestors with syphilis and
Right.
other diseases, and just to see how it affected us.
Mm,
So again, I'm in this field.
mm.
So
Right.
I'm looking at death and looking at people and how they're dying in different ways. COVID affected everybody differently. I had it
Correct.
Right.
twice.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
I
I had
had
it.
it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And Stacy and I have a history from we grew up together. We went to
Mm-hmm.
school together.
Mm,
Um, we were athletic back then. Never had breathing issues or anything like that. The first time I had COVID, I thought I was going to die.
mm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know, and it affects every part of you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, every part of
Mhm.
it. And
Right.
then there's the long effects that still
Correct.
come
Seeing now.
or that's
Right.
still
Right.
with you afterwards.
So
So
Right.
go
So
ahead.
but what we were saying is
Mhm.
so we've had previous COVID shows where we talked about COVID and
I'll
everything.
be working when y'all be on.
Hey, it's all tape.
yeah, you're
Hey,
right.
we got a whole YouTube channel, got
Right.
the website, whatever. Hey, so what I was saying is that because people like you and people like us and people that got sick and were worried about dying and so we didn't we were worrying about all of this stuff over here, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then in 2020, Marco Rubio said, okay, we're getting a lot of these reports about flying saucers and aliens and all this.
Mm-hmm.
We need the people to have a report. We need to release all of the documentation and have a report made that specifically deals with the aliens and the spacecraft and all this crazy, not
Mm-hmm.
crazy, but I mean
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's
occurrences.
talk about that for a minute. Let's talk
Right.
about how they have been hiding information about Area 51 for years. Area
Right.
51 is a real place.
Absolutely.
Things do happen there, experiments happen there.
So,
Right.
Carrie,
Um,
do you believe then? Do you believe that in Area 51? Because I agree that I believe that it's a real place.
mhm.
Do you also believe that we have communicated and had contact with actual beings from other planets? Would you go that far?
Yes. And now we'll get ready to go back again
Yep.
because where did the information come from years ago? We're talking about technology given to human beings that was beyond the
Right.
thought process. The
Right.
pyramid, okay, but
Right.
what if it is flipped upside down on this axis? So what if it's two pyramids, the
Two,
bottom two? What if
right,
they have one that's turned upside down
right.
and one sitting on top of it that's right side up
What would that do?
for the base? You know what
No,
I mean?
right.
Well,
What
You,
they've
what what
actually
what?
proven what the pyramids are. So
okay.
I could tell you about that. Just give me a second to touch on
Now again,
the
see
piece
now.
that you talk about with Area 51 and all that.
Well,
All right,
now,
well, we can go back to that.
now.
So
I don't. I've always said though. This was my take on it. I've always
Okay.
said that I do believe. I think that this universe is too vast for us to be the only. You okay, Carrie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Because if I look like you were standing up, I'm like, oh.
uh,
Turn the camera off. All right.
all right.
The universe is too vast and expansive for us to believe that we're the only beings out here. So I would never
Right.
think that. But I don't know without I would need something else for me to say that we have actually had communication or contact with a Martian or
I can give you two All right. And like I said, I never seen an alien.
Right.
I've seen a UFO. I have seen a
Okay.
UFO,
Hmm.
but I've never seen an alien.
Hmm.
But listen to this. When you when when you go to remember we were talking about circumstantial evidence,
Right.
right?
Right.
Listen to this. So remember when we graduated in what 1986, right?
Correct. Yes.
When we graduated, there were no cell phones.
Right.
There was no wireless.
Hmm. Right.
There was no fiber optics.
Right.
There was no AI.
Hmm.
All of
This,
these things happened within the last 35 to 40 years.
well, see, but so do you both make the
Wait. Let me finish. We've 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 gone. Our technology has gone so fast and so far in such a short amount of time. Like
Mhm.
like imagine in the
Okay.
1800s.
Okay, now let
Right?
me ask you a question. Like, I got where you're going with this. So this is a question for both of you. Then, can you explain? Okay, and this is for you too, Carrie Ann. We'll start with you, then we go to TL. Can you explain what Terry just said? Can that be as a result of our computer processing power? Our computers processing speeds have gotten faster and faster and faster. So once you have the ability to calculate and do the things that the current computers can do, it's just a matter of dreaming up some things and then being able to put them into
Oh,
practice. All right, no, well,
just
let's go to
dream.
Carrie Ann first. So Carrie Ann, the question is,
Let's go
can,
Carrie
can
Ann first.
go Carrie Ann,
I
then
don't
to you,
shoot
Nike.
that shit down.
Those
No, go ahead.
technologies though that TL just mentioned, can they all be explained by like I said, by the fact that our technology, we've just gotten so good with computer processing? Can you say that those technologies came as a result of that? I think you're on mute, Carrie Ann.
Oh, I'm on mute. Oh, I'm
No, we
sorry.
can hear you.
There she is.
We
There
can
she
hear
is.
you. We can hear you.
Okay. I don't think all of that came from an alien, honey. I do believe in human capabilities.
Okay.
Man can do. I mean, we did get to the moon.
Okay.
And we did launch satellites, out into space.
Right.
We had people living in space and space stations. So
Right.
we do have the capability of doing things. The first computer was built back in what? I want to say in the 60s, 70s.
That big IBM.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not like they didn't exist.
Right.
The fiber optic parts of it didn't exist. Now the man that invented what was
That
his
came.
name?
There's documented evidence and documentation that states that that fiber optics came from when they reverse engineered two crashed alien crafts in at Area 51 and at I think it's
Send me that link. I want to read that.
Right.
Yeah,
Force
send me that link.
I
I
will.
want to
I
read
will.
that.
I will.
Now listen to this. Let me read something. Charles,
Mhm.
I'm gonna read something. Charles Kunu Kayo is known as the father of fiber optic communication for his discovery in the 1960s of certain physical properties of glass, which laid the groundwork for high-speed data communication in the
Mhm.
information age. So,
Right.
based on what I just read here, Nike, it sounds like Charles Kuhn Ku is the person that was, instrumental in the creation of fiber optics.
Right.
Mhm.
Where did he get that information? Hey, look up a guy named Charles Nazar. I think that's his name, Charles Nazar.
Wait a minute,
He
are you
worked. He
saying that
actually he
he
actually worked
created
at
it?
Area 51. No, he didn't create it, but he's the one that states that he helped. He was one of the ones that helped re-engineer some of these technologies that we have. Bob
So
Lazar. His name is
now,
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. So,
Yeah.
but Nike, but then that will go back to where we first started, because then that would mean that you know, I could have said that, as you always say, I could have said that I did it. Now you have to have faith in Bob
Nah.
Lazar. You know,
if something can be proven, there's no faith involved.
You know?
Like he actually worked there. He actually knows people that work there. People knows that he worked there. He has government clearance. He got. I mean, so that's like I didn't see him actually walk in the building, but he has enough credentials where I'm not working off of faith. I'm working off of evidence.
Right. Okay.
You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying?
Right. That evidence that, as you said, that you have faith in. You know that. You know you.
No, it's not faith. I have no faith. I have no faith in. I mean,
but
not,
you believe in
logic.
his documentation.
Logic.
You believe in his what he said. You know, he said that he worked there, etc., and he was the one that helped to do whatever it is. You know,
Right. I would take that over just saying, no, he didn't.
Right. Okay, I got it. No. Go ahead, carry on.
So what about the man that invented the transistor radio, and the man that invented Bluetoothing? All of that deals with fiber optics. And so what I'm going to say is, if I copy your program, I could tweak mine and create something different. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense.
It does, Carrie, and that's where I fall
on. Everything that's built has a foundation.
Has a foundation.
Right.
So that all I'm saying is
let it finish.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. The caveman invented the wheel. We perfected it.
Correct.
Right. That's how that went. Right. Okay. So that's what I see. Right. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I understand everything to be.
But like I said, Terry, what you gonna say? Has a foundation, right?
Right.
So you that you can build on.
Right.
So Bluetooth, wireless, fiber optics, quantum mechanics, all of that comes from a certain base, a certain foundation.
Right.
So yeah, once you have the foundation, you can do different things.
See now
you get the foundation.
See, and as I said, I fall in the school that says a lot of those things came as a result of, again, processing power, ingenuity, and imagination. Because listen to this. Because listen. Because listen, like no. I let you finish now. You gotta let me finish. No. I was talking. No, Terry. No, we can't do that. No. Nope. Let me finish this. Because I said, you know, as computer chips process information faster and faster, you can put different models. You can model different things. You can do different experiments in a computer that you never have to do in the real world, because the computer is going to say that will work, and there's a high probability that will not work. That will not work. So therefore, again, all I'm saying is that I believe that as our processing capabilities and imagination has grown, that a lot of these experiments and inventions came from there.
So let me tell you why it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how fast, like having a fast processor is good, but it only processes the data that it was given.
Absolutely.
So you can have the biggest computer in the world, but if you don't put the correct data in it, it's not going to spit out any relevant data. So
can a computer model
into it?
Can a computer model?
You have to, if you put the correct data in.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if you know what makes up, if a person knows what makes up a computer signal, you can model that in the computer. Okay, if what is a good conductor of? But what you just said though, Knight, you just said that a computer can model. So again, if you have imagination,
you have to put the modeling data in it before it'll crunch whatever or run the model. What you call? So if you don't have the knowledge to put the correct data in, you're not going to get what you expect.
Correct. Yes, Carrie Ann.
Now, you have to also remember, we have an entire country that devoted all of their time to computers, making them better.
That's right.
What shortcuts they can create
Right.
that for people's everyday living.
Absolutely.
So you have to understand, China been at this thing for a long time.
Right. 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 Yes.
Remember, they started with this.
Correct.
They started with we bought the children the toys, the little what was it? You know what I'm talking about, the little pet thing they had to make sure it ate. It went to bed on time.
Wow.
It went to the bathroom. What's it? You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
Cabbage
The
Patch
little
thing?
toy thing. Yeah,
Cabbage
but
Patch?
that it started out with something that small.
Wow.
For us, remember we had the game The Sims. That
Right.
came
Right.
from them too.
Right. That's right.
So you have to remember, even though our children were playing with these games, we were playing the games on the computer. This was their everyday life.
Right.
How
Correct.
to
Now,
perfect
to
something
perfect
and
something.
make it better.
Right. Right.
So now you got a vacuum cleaner that you just sit on the charger, press
Mhm.
the button, and it cleans your house.
That's right. That's right.
All right,
And you
Carrie.
can do that. You could do that from your job. You could do it from a hospital bed. You
Mhm.
can do it from the moon if you need to.
Absolutely.
You can
Absolutely.
open and close your windows. You can set the alarm and stuff on your house. This is something that they have been working on
That's right.
for
That's right.
Okay,
years.
That's right.
all
Right.
right,
For
Carrie.
Carrie Ann.
We're gonna
years.
have to
So
let you go so we can
Yeah.
get to
Appreciate it.
yeah,
our next topics. But thank you
Carrie Ann,
for
thank you for
joining us.
joining us.
yeah.
We
And
really
please don't
Of
please
appreciate
don't
it.
course,
make this
I'll
the
see
last
y'all
time.
again.
Appreciate
All
Yeah,
it.
right,
I'll
man.
see y'all again.
All
All right.
right.
Take care, Carrie Ann. All right. Nice. We'd like to thank Carrie Ann for joining us. All right, now you ready to move on, man?
Yeah, let's go.
We,
Let's
we
go
got two
to the
more.
next.
We got what are we searching for? And we touched briefly on. I guess we're gonna hit the what are we searching for. We
Yeah, let's
touched
do that.
briefly on the Kevin Samuels thing. Carrie Ann didn't like that, so we moved on. All right, what are we searching for? All right,
My man Kevin Samuels ain't getting no
he
love.
ain't getting no love. Not in the not in the digital neighborhood. they ain't
Oh
trying to hear
man,
that. All right, Nike, what are we searching for? First, where did that come from? Explain what we're talking about here.
um,
This is a philosophical
yeah, it's kind
question,
of like a philosophical question because
so we
I
need
asked
somebody to
my
join in.
and I asked myself the same thing. You know, I didn't know I I didn't know what I was searching for
Mm, mm,
until I found it.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And once I found it, my whole my whole my whole
You.
my whole head
So
just
so what
opened up.
so what are we searching for then? What conclusion did you come with that then? What are we searching for? And when you say we, Nike, who is we? Are we talking
People,
about black folk or
humans,
just people, humans?
humans,
Okay, good answer. Okay,
humans.
well, I mean, I think you know what, Nike. I think, well, you know what, something you put on Facebook the other day. You said, I found something that I've always been searching for. Me.
Right.
I think that's the answer. I think most people are trying to find
Find
themselves.
themselves.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah, I
But
think
they're
so.
looking
I
in the
mean,
wrong places.
I agree with that. I agree. Well, you know what? Yeah, because I think all too often we're looking in the external instead of the internal. You
Right.
know, because we're looking for something on the outside that will explain who we are.
And
And you
we
know what though? And that night finding yourself could take a bunch of different forms. It could be purpose, purpose in life. It could be,
right. Right.
I think that's a big one there, purpose. I
Yeah.
think that
Purpose.
that
Yep.
lays down a lot, But when you said that, when you said I found something that I've always been searching for, how did you come to that? Where did that come from?
Because that came from me being proud of what I accomplished. Like
Mm,
I I I wish that it didn't take me 50 something years to feel and think the way I do now.
mm.
Like my whole life is different. My whole aura is different. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a god out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm connected to something higher. You get what I'm saying?
So how were you existing before then? I mean, how were you
I
existing?
don't to
Would
tell
you
you the
say you were
truth.
just going to work, going home, and just like
I Yep, yep. Yep. I was just going through the motions. I
Well,
was doing. I was just doing what I was trained to do.
right, right,
You know what I mean?
right. You were living.
We're, I,
You were just
I,
living.
I was no, I wasn't living.
You
I
existing.
was I was existing.
Right.
I was
Right. There's a
existing.
difference.
I was existing the way the system taught me to exist.
Mm.
Now I exist the way I exist.
Purpose.
You get what I'm saying?
Purpose. Okay, now
My knowledge and my frequency and vibration is higher than it's ever been.
listen to this, Knight. Okay, now we're gonna kind of say, if we're gonna give someone advice, and I'll go first, or give them something that will maybe help them to find themselves, because I think that can be a source of frustration, not knowing what your purpose is, not knowing who you are or why you're here.
Right.
So now I'll go first. Like I said, we're gonna give people what helped us to get to this point, because I think that living and existing are two different feelings. Those are two different places, and it feels good to live. So what I would say, Nike, what helped me is realizing that that it's not about me. I've always thought, Nike, that again, it was all about helping. It wasn't about just accumulating. It was always about, what can I do to help someone else, or you know what I mean? I think that is what helped me to think and get to the place where I am. And I'm not saying I'm totally there, or that I'm all knowing or anything else like that. But again, I think that when you realize that it's more fulfilling to to help others and live for things bigger than you, I think that helps you learn and learn who you are. That helps you with your purpose. What do you think?
Right. I agree with that to some extent. I think that we have to untrain ourselves to we should take examples from people that are functioning on a higher frequency, right? So we should pay attention, for one. We should do more research into things and not just accept them as that taught behavior, right? We have to realize that we've all been trained to and manipulated into existing the way we exist, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my advice would be to, first of all, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down.
What do you mean by that?
Everybody is running in the rat race, trying to get a bag here, trying to get a bag. The quickest way to spiritual consciousness is to be a minimalist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what
So
I
again,
mean?
talking about stuff. Stop accumulating.
Right. You don't need Gucci. You don't need this. You don't need all this, all this external bullshit, because that's what it is. It's bullshit, right? You need to feed your consciousness. Instead of buying a pair of shoes, buy a book. You know what I mean? Buy a book that you can trace your history. You can watch program. Turn the TV off a little bit. Like, I mean, like the average person, we come home, or like say a Saturday, we come home. I mean, we get up, we go do our little errands, we go shop, or do whatever the fuck we're gonna do. Then we come home, then we right in front of the TV for the next 10, 12 hours, right?
Damn.
Like, and that's just a part of the programming that's been taking place for years and years. And
now
we're fed all this false information, and we just take it at face value because it comes from the government, or it comes from Fox News, or it comes from MSNBC. You know what I mean? We have to be able. A lot of us are not conscious thinkers. We are vibrating on this low level with everybody else that's running the rat race, and we're knocking heads, running into each other in the rat race when we have to elevate.
Now, a couple of things though, as we talked about a while ago. Now and I get the fact that everyone needs a space, and there's nothing wrong with unplugging. There's nothing wrong with doing something quote unquote dumb for a little while. It's okay to rest your brain. Put it that way. Because I think
a little bit. It's every now and then.
Let me finish. Because I think that's where when you're being brain dead, a lot of times that's when those ideas pop up. When you're just kind of just zoning out. So I don't think there's anything wrong with zoning out. Whatever form that take, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I do think that we can all spend more time thinking about others. And Nike, I'll go a step further. I think that it's relatively easy to do. I think that
zoning out is not going to feed your information.
No, listen to this. I think that listen to this. I think that it's relatively easy to focus on helping someone else rather than not. I think if we all made a commitment to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to do something to help somebody and not expect anything from it. That's a start. And that's, like I said, that's relatively
easy.
That's
what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing.
Right. I know. But my point is that, it's not hard to do. And I think that focusing in on someone else, a lot of time that'll lead you to believing that there are items out there and causes that are bigger than you, which leads you to saying, okay, you know what? Now I have a better idea what I think my purpose is.
But a lot of people don't think that way.
Agreed. But you have to start somewhere. Agreed.
You do have to start somewhere.
Agreed.
You can start by turning the TV off.
Okay.
You can start by picking up a book.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can start by slowing your pace down.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? You can stop wanting for
stuff.
Things,
right,
like that are irrelevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to get in tune, meditate. You know
now,
what I mean? So it's
now, well, actually, Nike, maybe I mean, you said you wish it didn't take you 50 some odd years to get to this point. Maybe it's not as easy because we're getting a constant barrage from external forces saying, "Watch me." You know what I mean? That stimuli, maybe that is tough. Maybe it's tough to turn away from it.
What you mean, watch me?
I mean, like you said, commercials, social media, TV. They doing all these things to get you to watch them. So that's real easy to do. Well, yeah, exactly. So, like you said, correct. So again, I guess I'm disagreeing with the point that I said earlier. I said that it's not hard, but what I'm saying is maybe it is hard. And like you said, it took you 50-something years to get to this point. Yeah. So it has to be a conscious thing where you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to commit to once a day helping someone with something and not expecting anything in return. Once a day.
But the thing is, I know this is going to sound selfish, but you can't help nobody else if you didn't help yourself.
Well, see, but my point,
you can't. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do for another person.
No,
right? If you don't have the forethought.
No, I disagree with that. Because I think now that's making it more difficult than it has to be. I'm talking about something as simple as saying you see someone in your community that needs help with something, a kid that a kid that did something, and you could take a couple seconds out of your day to pull that kid to the side and explain something to them. Something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be, it's not, that part is not difficult. That's what I'm saying. But when you start to do that, and if you commit to doing something like that daily, you'll start to realize that like I said, there are things out here that are bigger than just you and your
There are.
minuscule
But how many
needs.
people do the thing that you just said?
Agreed. Not enough. But
Right.
but Nike,
And
but
that's my
that's
point.
but it's not hard though. That's
I
not
didn't say
hard
it
to
was
do.
hard,
Right.
but it
Enough of us
like I
don't do it.
said, you have to be aware. You have to.
Correct.
A lot of people
Correct.
don't have self-awareness.
Correct.
So
Correct. A
they're
lot
not
of us don't.
aware that, oh, you know what? That lady, it looked like she's struggling with her bags.
Right.
You're
Agreed.
so unaware, so unself-aware, and you're still so busy chasing whatever it is you're chasing.
Right.
You don't see
Right.
this lady struggling.
Right.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Agreed.
you have
I
to
agree with
have
that.
you have to have the
The
capability
mindset. Right. The mindset.
to recognize
Mm.
it before you can actually help somebody else. And that's
Agreed.
the only point that I was trying to
Agreed. I agree with that. Nice. All right, Nike. We've come to the end, man. What you got in closing, man? We're gonna wind it on down.
In closing, everybody, if you can go out and get Ellie Mistyles' book, so you can participate in the Real Brothers Book Club. That's going to be every last Wednesday of the month. This May, in May,
25th.
it'll be on the 25th.
Mhm.
So if you can go get the book, and we'll have a good time on the book club with the book club. Also, we have merchandise. Real Brothers Live, realbroslive.com/merchandise. And there was
Love.
something else I wanted. Love is the new black. That's my joint.
Right.
And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Sometimes it's a turd, sometimes it's a Snickers. But you gotta, but you gotta just keep one eye open instead of one eye closed, and you good.
Like what that is it? Sometimes it's a turd, sometimes a Snicker. What that got to do with keeping one eye
Sometimes
open?
it's a turd, sometimes it's a Snickers.
Oh, okay. Just be
keep
aware. Okay.
Keep one eye open instead of having one eye closed.
Okay, got it. All right, y'all. All right. So again, I'd like to echo everything that Nike said, even the last crazy thing that he said, the Snickers bar in the pool, the whole nine. I thought you were going a different direction. You scared me. So like Nike said, we do have the merchandise available on the website, realbrotherslive.com/merchandise. Check us out. Also, please, we ask you to continue to go onto YouTube and subscribe to the page, Real Brothers Live, so that we can get our numbers up. And who knows where this thing might go. We want to thank Carrie Ann for joining us. Brenda, thank you for your responses. Nice. Good to see you. Pat, thank you as always. We'd like to see more of you chime in and join us. Don't forget, you can catch us on all of the major platforms. We're still there. And we'd like to thank you for tuning in, y'all. We hope you enjoyed yourselves, and we will see you here next week
Digital Neighborhood.
on the Digital Neighborhood.
Love y'all.
Peace.